Welcome, everybody, to our podcast, which is also yours because you're listening to it. All right, let's get started. This is our very first podcast. We're just gonna a short podcast because we're gonna introduce ourselves. My name is Sebastian, and introduce yourself.
Hello, you guys. My name is Julian, and I am from the YouTube channel Default Gaming, which is up, getting there. We have like one subscriber, and it's me on my other other YouTube account. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun podcast. We're only thinking like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We're really excited about this. This is something we really want to do for a while now. So why don't we just get into it?
Yeah, well, in our next podcast, you'll hear a little bit about how we got into YouTube and everything. We have YouTube channels. We have a YouTube channel called Film Club Productions, which is run by four of us, which is ran by four of us.
Yeah.
Us two, and our friend Luke and our friend DJ. And Luke was kind of the main guy who started it up. And sorry, you guys, if we sound kind of tired. It's kind of late, and
It's like
we have to be kind of quiet.
1:30 in the morning here. But hey, we're willing to do this for you guys.
And so yeah, we got started with that channel, and we make short films and stuff like that. And then I have my own channel. I branched off. And
Yep.
I make comedy videos every week, and you have your own channel, a gaming channel.
Yeah, a gaming channel, but I'm hopefully gonna start bringing you guys better quality video games or games, because I'm gonna hopefully get a game capture card. It's something I really need. So yeah, why don't we just break into what we were thinking about talking? Is we are both freshmen. He goes to Mesa Grande. Why? You can cut that out, right?
I don't think I can. That's okay.
Whatever.
There's so many.
Yeah, true. And I go to a public school, and we both met in 5th grade when we, I went to, what is it called? Not primary school, not in England.
Private?
Elementary, or I went to public school from preschool, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade I left, and I went to private school. That's where I met Sebastian, some of my other great friends, and
Back in 5th grade.
yeah, back in 5th grade, I remember that. And now it's our first year of high school, and it's the first time we've actually been separated, and we haven't seen each other every day, so it's kind of awkward, but, this big idea of making videos actually came to us about 8 months ago when we were assigned a French project, and they said, well, you guys can do whatever you want, make a project, and we're like, okay. Lego stop motion movie.
That was in 7th grade.
That was that was in 7th grade, and then we decided to post it in 8th grade, and it never actually got up on the channel, which is kind of,
Yeah.
sorry, you guys, laying on something.
Our first video on Film Club Productions. Film Club Productions is kind of our main thing. We make, our film channel. Yeah, that's kind of our main channel. But it was Luke's idea. He came to us one day. He's like, "Hey, you want to start a YouTube channel?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Make movies and stuff." We're like, "Sure, that sounds great." And then we've been doing it for about 7 months now. We don't have that many subscribers because we haven't been making very many short films, and our videos aren't great. We could do better, but we don't have we don't have the equipment.
We don't have the equipment or the how am I gonna say this?
Time.
I mean, we have time on weekends, but sometimes 3-day weekends, but we don't have the money to buy the equipment. That's why we need you guys' help. And by doing these podcasts, I'm really hoping that it'll get us out there more. And I feel like if we work so hard at it, it should come to us. Not easy. The harder you work, the harder it should get, because the more time you're putting into it, the more time you're spending, the more time you're doing things that need to be edited and corrected and synced and all this stuff. So, all right, why don't we get into what our main thing about this was going to be. Sebastian, why don't you just talk about your first couple months of high school, and then I will.
Yeah, it's been great so far. But what I really want to talk about is, we'll just mention it in the next podcast. But yeah, I'm in Video Yearbook, which is just we make videos for the yearbook, and it's all online. It's of course not inside the yearbook, but yeah, I'm in video yearbook, and I do go to private school, and we have 84 kids in the whole high school, which is extremely small, but it's a great school. I really enjoy going there. But Julian, on the other hand, is going to public school. I'll let you explain.
Yes. As you guys know, I went to not primary school. I went to public school from kindergarten to 4th grade, and then for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, I went to private school with Sebastian here. And now I go to a public high school, which is kind of different because we didn't have 6 classes. We had 1 class, and we stayed in that class all day. So we felt like little kids. And now I have 6 different classes, 6 different teachers, and they all make you feel like they're your own teacher, so they give you a lot of homework. I don't do any of my homework. I know it's stupid. A lot of people are like, dude, you need to do your homework. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to come home and be back at school.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come home and chill, play some Xbox. You'll hear more about that probably in our next podcast.
Well, let's just explain.
Well, do you want me to explain my thing about theater so far?
Well, let me explain something.
Yeah, you explain it first. We'll get into it later.
We actually already did this podcast, but it didn't work out.
So
we're
we actually
doing
already made our second podcast, and now we're redoing.
Yeah, we already did our second podcast. And then we're redoing our first one, and that's why if you hear us say like, "Oh, you're here the next podcast," if you guys are kind of bored with this podcast, just go ahead and listen to the next one. We're just kind of telling you about ourselves. But yeah, I'll let you finish.
Okay, so I take theater because why wouldn't I? I love theater. But wouldn't you guys think that, yeah, you be late, you should get a tardy, and we have each semester you get 3 excused tardies, and after that you get a detention. Well, I walk in every day around 8:01, and school starts at 8 o'clock. It's just because we have a really big campus. It's spread out like a college campus, so it's really annoying to get from each class. It takes like 8 minutes to get to each class. You only have a 6-minute passing period, which means if your teacher lets you out late, you're going to be late to your next class. And theater is my first period. When you walk in the building, I walk in at 8 o'clock. It takes about 45 seconds to walk from there to the front door of our classroom. Then I walk in with my friend Daniel and Steven. It smells like turkey. And then after that, I'll walk in and she's like, "Julian, you're late." And I'm like, "Why am I the only one late? They all walked in with me for the past 6 days at the same time." And she's like, "Well, you know what, Julian, you're late." And I got in a heated argument with her. I'm like, "No, I'm not going to take this from you. You don't have the right to pick on me because you got mad at me at the beginning of the year because I said something. So, you know what, this is messed up." And she's like, "Well, you don't have the authority to say that." And I said, "Well, I have the authority to stand up for myself." And
freedom of speech.
Yeah, freedom. I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I said it was the freedom of speech. And she's like, "Well, how dare you backtalk me, blah, 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 blah. I'm your teacher." And I'm like, you know what, I don't care. I don't have to take this from you. And I know you guys are probably thinking rebel, but it's not. I'm just standing up for myself. And why should I get picked on for walking in 1 minute late every day? Which I think...
Dude, your breath's
I know. Alright, I'll go put something in my mouth once I'm done saying this.
I want to say something, but I can't even turn my head.
And I ended up getting a referral, and I don't even care. I'm not even going to sign it. I'm just going to... I truly crumbled up in front of her and threw it in the trash. And if you guys tell me if she did the right thing by me being, 1 minute late to, my class for 8 days. And she said... she's like, "Oh, I'll take care of the other kids that walked in late. Don't worry, you're not the only one." And then she posts all our grades, and it doesn't say our name and then our grade. It just has our ID number, so you're not gonna remember everybody's ID number. But I looked at Steven's ID number and I found his, and he didn't care, and he had no tardies. I had 8 tardies, 0 absences, and he had 0 tardies, 0 absences. And I'm like, bruh. And I just got really mad there, and that's when I walked up to her, and I'm like, "You know what? I don't care. Give me my referral." And she handed it to me, and I crumbled up and threw it in the trash, and I said, "Screw you," and I went and sat down. Alright, I'm gonna go put some... I'll be right back.
You give me like a breath mint, dude. Alright, I'm talking about my thing for being late.
Hold on.
We have each period you can only get 3 tardies. And if you get 3 tardies, then you go to detention, and then they make you pay like $5 to go to detention because they have to pay for the teacher. I don't think it's fair because they send you to detention, and then y'all know how detention works, but they send you to detention, and then they make you pay for it. Like, seriously. But luckily, I haven't been late at all because there's like I go on a bus because I live kind of far away, and then in the morning I have choir. So that's good. And then, yeah, everything else goes going well for me. I'm in video yearbook, and that's really fun. But we do need an audio system because we have a really old camera and we can't use it. But the new cameras that we got for video, they don't have a thing where you can plug it in for audio. So we have to get a whole audio system, which is a pain. But we did get new computers for editing, and we're gonna get Adobe Premiere. So that's pretty cool. And, like I said, this is just an introduction for us. Like I said, if you're bored with this, then you go ahead and skip to the next podcast. If it's up, it probably will be. But, Julian, take it away.
Yeah, this podcast may seem like it's really quiet and there's no thrill to it, but it's just because it's super late, you guys. Believe me, our next podcast that you guys will listen to is upbeat, and it's like, listen to like swing jazz from the 1930s. Like, come on, people. No, I mean, we had a lot of laughs during making that one. I thought that was probably one of our funner ones because the
fun of the two.
Yeah, the fun of the. See what I mean? No, believe me, I would be way more enthusiastic. I'm a really enthusiastic person, I guess people say, and very interrupting, and rude, and crazy. At least that's what my yearbook says. So the reason our original first podcast didn't work out is because it was over Skype and we couldn't sync it because I had to record it on my phone and he had to record his voice on his phone. Then he had to sync it. Then we were using Skype to listen to each other talk, and then my phone wouldn't send to his phone because it wasn't large enough, and we couldn't get it up on Google Docs Drive. So after that, we kind of just gave up, and we're like, you know what, we'll just redo the first one. And if this doesn't sound great, I guess we could redo it tomorrow, but...
We're not redoing this again.
Okay, fine, we won't redo it. This is the one. This is our first one, and if you guys don't like it, go to the second one. The second one was way more upbeat, but just listen to this one just so we can give you an introduction to our channel, or Sebastian's channel, and what we do. I feel that I would like to have a podcast community as well as a YouTube community, because I really want to be in the radio talk show, well, not talk show, but like radio business too, because I love the radio. So, Sebastian?
Yeah, so I don't know how long we're going to have this. We're at about 13 minutes now.
Yeah, I usually say like 15-minute intervals once in a while.
So
we usually take a break, but
I think maybe we should end this soon because it's just an introduction.
Yeah, why don't we just make it 20 minutes?
Yeah, let's just keep going for this 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But
rocking it.
You will hear about our stories about, short films and stuff and how we got started with everything in our next podcast. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
And don't forget to subscribe, of course. And I know for a fact this is going up on YouTube. The next podcast, if it sounds like we didn't know where it was going, it's because we didn't decide yet. But now we know it's going up on YouTube. Of course, because you're watching on YouTube. Or listening, whatever you're doing. And, yeah, please leave a comment about what you thought. And please subscribe. We really appreciate it. Because you'll hear. And, honestly, just go to the next podcast because I think we're pretty much done here.
Yeah, thanks, you guys.
Yeah, we just want to thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to check out the next podcast. And thanks one last time. And I will hear you guys in the next podcast.